Would you like me to relay your message?
Seriously? It's not a mission. It's just that, having been in the middle of everything, I'm struggling so. Where? It appears that Fantilii was the mastermind behind it all. Few could have foreseen the insidious tactics employed in the execution of their assaults. The present danger posed by the Legion clearly demands a re-evaluation. When the ambrosial arbor was severed by the Rainbow Arbiter thousands of years ago, presumably, from that moment on, the seeds of discord for the disciples of they succeeded all right. But why would Fantilia's object? The Stellaron Hunters. We know just as little. But in the matrix of based on what Kafka knows, and despite everything being under the control of Elio, now that the future has come true, the Xianzhou has discovered that we may. But as logical as things might seem, for example, how was the Stellaron brought onto the Xianzhou? I'm submitting my report to the Alliance, and I've already got a
I was about to make the same request, Master Diviner. Since the Arbor's resurrection, I'm sure the...
Jingyuan has committed quite a few violations this time around, and I'll have to deal with them one by one. Before you leave, please make time to recuperate. If there's anywhere you'd like to visit... Oh, if you pass through Starskiff Haven, I have some... It was all so chaotic. The Cloud Knights were only able to find her fan. I'm already prepared for the worst. As for how matters are handled with regards to Ting...
I understand.
Thank you, Mr. Yang. It's getting late. If you need...
It's getting late. Where to now? I see. Please extend my regards to the...
I will. Our condolences. You have guests. I shall take my leave.
On behalf of the Skyfaring Commission.
Madame Yukong must have heard about Miss Tingyun.
Yes, I have heard. Seeing 4 leave, yet only 3 return, was enough for me to know that Fu Xuan's report was indeed correct. Tingyun. I still can't believe it. The whole report reads like a bad joke. The Antimatter Legion on the Xianzhou, and Ting... How could someone who spent over 30 years working alongside me at the Skyfaring Commission turn out to be nothing more than a monster in disguise? What happened to the...
Madam Yuko...
I'm sorry. I understand. It's just hard for me to accept. Thank you for bringing Tingyun's belongings back to the Palace of Astrum. The Stellaron crisis has cost us too many comrades. Brothers, sisters. I'd like to invite all of you, as witnesses to this war, to a soul-soothing ceremony hosted by the Skyfaring Commission. Will you consider?
A soul-soothing ceremony?
To put it into short life terms, a funeral. You see, for long-life species of the Xianzhou, ordinarily the Ten Lords Commission guides people to the Hall of Karma before any symptoms of Mara are detected. Given our limited lifespans, the only ones who place value on countless Cloud Knights lost their lives or became Mara-struck during the crisis. All of these sudden deaths and unfulfilled wishes remind us that long by combining Skyfaring Commission technology with Foxian ceremony, it's not just to comfort the dead, those souls who can never talk with. It's also my way of saying farewell to Ting Yun. I know. I'd like to hold this ceremony as a way of distancing the memory of Ting Yun. I can still hardly believe it. I'll use my own methods to locate Ting. I'd like to ask you all to witness this. I've instructed Yan Ming to sort through Ting Yun's belongings. I hope you can pick some out to place.
Leave this to us.
Once again, my thanks to all of you.
You always did say that I like to gossip. And here I am rambling on, proving you right again. If only you were here to cut me off. Oh. It's you.
We're here to help sort out Miss Ting Yun's things. Madame Yukong wants to use some of them for her soul-soothing.
Well, I've managed to get through pretty much everything. It's all in this box. Please, take your time.
Okay, let's see what there is. An Annie Cassiter's seal, a small box, a knife, looks like some kind of antique? But who'd want to hold on to something like this?
Oh, Ting Yun explained that one to me. It's a folk statuette from Foxian antiquity. They say it can...
There's also a note in the package. This is for you, Mr. Yanming. Wishing you fortune and success in every endeavor. Yanming, it seems like this is a gift for you from Miss Ting.
I remember asking her for one at the time. This is Ting Yun and I were from different guilds. We were competitors. But also, when we used to trade in other lands, we would bring back local specialties and the rivalry between us and the Whistling Flames to be the Skyfaring Commission's top guild. Oh, I was completely unprepared for this. I never thought Ting Yun would leave something. If I don't return a gift, I'll lose our little duel. But what could I possibly gift her?
Huh. Besides the seal, the knife, and the bow, none of this seems like something Miss Ting Yun would have kept. I thought, could there be other things similar to what Yanming got? We should take a...
There's nothing else. It looks like there's something printed on the bottom of the box. The Sleepless Earl. Let me think.
I can't cook to save my life, but one thing I'm sure of is that I've never seen Miss Ting Yun use anything like that to defend. There's an ad in the knife case. Spices Supreme. This bow. It's a good bow. It couldn't be meant. Alright, just kidding. Just trying to... Do you know where we're supposed to take the...
The Sleepless Earl.
Welcome to the Sleepless Earl. I'm the owner here. The name's Ming Ming. How many of you are there? Oh, this is the tea Miss Ting Yun promised to get for me. When I took over this tea house, famous brews like whale, Miss Ting Yun came to the tea house. I just thought she was trying to cheer me up. I know.
Yes. Now that the crisis has been averted and the ports are resuming operations, Miss Ting Yun has been dispatched on business with the sky.
Oh, really? Based on her suggestion, I improved the whale, seeing as she can't enjoy it right now.
It's getting late. Where to now?
The best choice for galactic commerce.
The Lafu is famous for its mung bean soda. You've got to give it a try.
Oh, how's it going? Did you take some time? Isn't that the place on Auramali? It's the main commercial. Tourists fresh off the... Whenever I'm tired of... Spice is supreme!
Honored guests, welcome to our... something for... Oh. When she first ate here, she was captivated. She probably came across... Miss Ting Yun is... Oh, I heard the trade port is open again for business.
Miss Ting Yun could...
Really? Thank you so much. Oh, speaking of which, it...
About that bow, I think I know who Miss Ting Yun intended to gift it to.
What brings you here? This bow. Did Ting Yun pick it out for me? She understood my pain. It's a shame I can no longer do anything for her. "30 years ago, I fought in a terrible war. My comrade and I set sail together, but only I returned. The scars of that war never truly... I felt tired of voyaging, like I'd lost the courage to pull. Despite rising to Helm Master, my military career hadn't prepared me for the type of meticulous planning work now confronting me. Ting Yun, on the other hand, was a born merchant. She never fought alongside me on the battlefield, but in her own way, she became a comrade in arms. Without the help of Ting Yun and the Guild, I used to think that the Xianzhou had changed with the times. Geniuses like Ting Yun were the future for the Skyfaring Commission's next generation. I was wrong. Only... The star skiff is ready for the ceremony now. Everyone...
Wait! Wait for me! Miss Ting Yun prepared a gift for me. As a fellow ambassador, I cannot fail to honor our custom.
Yan Ming, what is it that...
I've brought a paper kite. I know it may seem simple compared to the precious items that Ting Yun gifted others in the past, but I heard that Foxians have a tradition where paper kites are used to comfort the souls of pilots who can no longer take to the skies. Ting Yun and I were never pilots in the strictest sense of the word, but we spent for her to be able to take wing once again would make her very happy.
Out of all this stuff we've got,
This time, we needn't.
this is a gift from Miss Yen Sui on me. This is the tea that Meng Ming has made.
Thank you for everything you've done for the Skyfaring. The Skyfaring Commission. It is time for the soul-soothing.
It's getting late. Where to now?
General, the ceremony is finished.
Not yet. I have things I wish to... My apologies, I couldn't get to you any sooner. Yen Qing made... Before you leave the Luofu, there are...
2 gifts? Has his conscience finally...
Please. Let us
It's getting late. Where to now?
What is your purpose for entering this?
Present company is gathered to reiterate the Xianzhou Luofu's esteemed gratitude for the magnanimous... I am sure Lady Fu has given voice to this already, but the Luofu is greatly indebted to you. Therefore, on behalf of the Luofu Cloud Knights, I hereby present you with a jade abacus, a symbol... Back when the Alliance was first established, all those thousands of years ago, the Xianzhou ships swore an oath, etching the record into a... The same is true of this jade abacus. It is a record of the Luofu Cloud Knight's promise to the crew, no matter how astronomically distant you are. The Luofu Cloud Knights will always...
Wow, now that's...
Of course, I trust that such an important article will not be used for trivial or inappropriate circumstances.
Yep, got it. Say no more. Sure thing.
Thank you for your generosity,
Dan Heng.
General.
In accordance with the Edict of the Ten Lords Commission, I am hereby authorized to relieve your banishment decree.
Nice!
But I must remind you that the crimes of Don Feng have had far-reaching implications. And some people, such as those in Scale Gorge Waterscape, will not be much moved by the... While I can guarantee your freedom to come and go as you please, I cannot guarantee your safety.
I understand.
This issuing of gifts brings with it a sense of relief. Even my wound is feeling much improved. The occasion calls for a line or two of The Express and its passengers have a long voyage ahead of them. May that voyage be...
Himiko messaged me. She was also asking after...
She must have been worried.
Himiko must be eager to hear about what. Hang on. How could I forget? Oh, yeah.
Fine, fine. Danheng and I will go back to the...
Don't worry.
There's a dreamlike quality to watching these star skiffs depart through the Jade Gate. How long will these ships sail? And which stars are they traveling to?
From a universal perspective, there is little difference between the lives of long and short-lived species. The transcendence that the Xianzhou pursues is nothing compared to the enduring majesty of the stars. Yeah, you're back. Himiko and I were just discussing This little excursion has reached its conclusion.
Next time, I think I should be the one trailblazing with you guys.
Since when did the work roster just change like that?
Penacony. Do you remember? Before Kafka's proposal, that was our original destination. The family is throwing a banquet there, and they sent invitations out to the Express. I was curious about the state of the planet, so I accepted. When the conductor is ready, we can set off for the next stop.
All who enter here are either jailers or prisoners. Which are you?
Neither. I'm merely a lost traveler.
What a spectacle. The Stellaron, the Ambrosial Arbor, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, the Lord Ravager. A series of threats that almost succeeded in diverting attention away from the crucial question. They who brought the Stellaron onto the Xianzhou, what was their motive? Will you surrender, or do you require encouragement? Abomination of Yaoshi.
General, my power does indeed stem from the abundance. But I'm the same as you. We are both enemies of Yaoshi.
That's right, Genuine. Stay out of our way. The revival of the Arbor is an omen. It's time for the Xianzhou to choose its next path. The Rainbow Arbiter, the Plague's author, the Ruin author. This is a chess game between eons. If you don't stand with the winners, you stand to lose. And this time, we will put the abundance in their grave.
Is this a letter? Upend the ancient sea and return to old ground. It's a letter for Don.
Pom-Pom's been cleaning up this whole time and... What? What does the letter say? It looks like an invitation. Who could have sent it? Does Don Hong...
Unlikely. If the...
Why don't you show Don Hong the letter? You know where to find it.
What is it? There's no signature. And unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint them. Thanks, but I don't even know where to start. Let me hold on to the letter. Anything related to Don Feng's past. Just as I thought. There was more than met the eye. But if he didn't send the letter... maybe I should make a trip to the...
After all this time away from the Luofu, the seat of Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just... However, I never thought Jing Yuan would send you to accompany me.
Huh? I've got my work cut out for me today. Well, if it isn't Dan Heng.
Greetings.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept.
That won't be necessary. The Cloud Knights...
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able...
I can't say that I know her, but she...
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose that is Jing Liu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou Luofu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous incarnation. According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wing Weaver, the father wolf of the Borazon, or the gigantic mecha... However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame with her powers. You'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. Her surrender came with one condition. That she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel before he left. He ordered us to accompany Jing Liu during her last...
Imbibitor Lune, since you traveled all this way, why don't you... Or should I call you by your name in this? When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you. I thought Imbibitor Lune had been wiped from this world. But then I returned to the Luofu and...
Memories of my past life are like shattered glass.
I can't remember. The words of every person who hoped. The Vidyadhara rebirth normally erases all memory of the previous life. If my guess is correct, the preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end, and hoped for the Imbibitor Lune's resurrection. That is why they tampered with the Molten Rebirth, and turned you into what you are now.
So, you also...
I have no intent. I returned to the Luofu, so I could... I did, however, have one request. Jing Yuan.
So...
The sea's depths conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scenery of Scale Gorge waters. But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we...
For security purposes?
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of... According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, You arrived on the Law Fu with a group of... You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Your behavior truly is puzzling.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The guy...
Merely a wanderer. You're too modest, Lacha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the... Or must I utter that tongue-twister of a name?
Well, they don't call...
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research. Or this
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to...
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave... However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale.
She told me that the High Cloud the unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the five of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. But not you wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Czinlyu.
We can head out now.
Have you mistaken yourself for...
I would make a wonderful tour. Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, and I will keep... Imbibitor Lunae, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer, regardless of whether you're... Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first? Or to... So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live...
How hard is it to choose a destination?
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia, it is.
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate.
Young man, have you ever heard of Bai Hung?
Bai Hung?
Let the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky, I presume?
Imbibitor Lunae, if memories are returning.
I think... she was what?
She was a comrade and friend. Well, that's all in the past now. The reason we came to Stargazer Navalia...
Huh? You mean the Voxian soul?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be...
I see. Follow... I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these machines to work... Careful. There's still Stellaron spirits lurking around.
Keep up! My tempo!
Excuse me, coming through!
Defend the weak.
A blade of moonlight.
Rock with it. My music. Conquer us all! Indestructible. Flaming Lance! Forward!
The moon shines on the truth. In lunar flame! A blade of moonlight.
Defend the weak.
Excuse me, coming through.
We've arrived. All ship production, just enter the command into the device. Ah, I remember now. I've seen—
You like to read?
Hey, I don't read much, but the general—
That's right. By Honkai.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was— I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her—
Indeed. Her luck always astonished us. Whenever very few star skiffs she piloted were able to return to. She also possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events. Inauspicious ones, at least. However, when it came to surviving, her fortune— Luck is a type of strength, after all.
Ha! That'll do it. The Starskiff assembly line has been activated. The Starskiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't be long.
Thank you, young man.
See? The Starskiff is complete.
After being away from the Luofu for so long.
So, what happened about—
In the end, I do not think the details are necessary. In Bibiter Lunae, do you still remember the battle?
The Abundance Emanator, Shu Hu.
You seem to be interested in Lurt still. All of that was erased. Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Bai Heng, she charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shu Hu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you from your dragon's delirium. She was not able to walk out of that fight.
We all for the Cloud Knights. Giving up one's life on the battlefield is an honor. But that wasn't something you believed in, Imbibitor Lunae. You couldn't accept that Bai Heng was gone. There is no need to respond, Imbibitor Lunae. Your answer is no longer important. And now, I will send off this star skiff. Bai Heng, I've brought your flagon. This was a gift handmade by him, though he never got the chance to give it to you in person. I'm sorry it took so long for me to find it. Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares be calmed. I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word, even if it requires me to cut down the stars in the sky. Let's go. The artisanship commission is next. Since the Arbor's resurrection, the land has been crawling with abominations.
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled. Only a single master craftsman was left to hold the line until reinforcements arrived. That's how the creation furnace was saved.
Interesting. Stubborn beyond valuing his own life. That reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance. If he were to see the chaos of the Artisanship Commission today, he would burst into laughter at the Xianzhou's incompetence.
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own life and waiting for the Cloud Knights to arrive?
And yet where were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard, it was a group of Outworlders that came to the rescue.
The Luofu's delves are big places. Besides, some of the troops were deployed to the Yao Qing's campaign. The Cloud Knights were spread thin. It was impossible to guard everywhere at once.
Young man, why don't we continue our previous contest? Show me whether the sword techniques you are so proud of.
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna grant endless requests for a criminal?
You go on ahead this time. We'll meet up at the creation for...
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance. But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages.
I don't plan on fighting.
I'm not asking you to point your spear at me. Could it be that the abominations here aren't enough to motivate you?
The moon shines on the truth.
Even after your rebirth, your moves and techniques haven't changed one bit.
It's like...
Like
You never forgot. In lunar flame!
Defend the weak. Flaming lance! Forward!
Come on already. What took you so long?
Don't get anxious, Imbibitor Lune. We have all the time in the world.
Something's not right.
This sphere still recognizes you as its master. Imbibitor Lune, do you know who crafted it for you?
It's been with me ever since my exile.
Indestructible.
I don't remember when I started wielding it.
That's it.
Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all! A blade of moonlight.
Secret of the Saints.
Excuse me, coming through!
Let's rock. Crusher. Flaming lance! Forward! In lunar flame!
I think something bit me. For a tough case like yours, we're gonna try 'em all!
Keep up! My tempo! Defend the weak!
A miracle.
Excuse me, coming through!
Turn up the volume! Flaming lance! Forward!
Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all!
Keep up! My tempo!
Fleeting light, roaring flood. A blade of moonlight.
Indestructible.
In lunar
Inner flame!
Turn up the volume!
Fracture! Target specimen sighted. Preparing for collection. Time for something savory.
Ready to jam.
Secret of the Saints.
For a tough case like yours, we're gonna try them all!
Let's rock!
Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all! Defend the weak. Flaming Lance! Forward!
Relax, deep breath.
Fleeting light, roaring flood. You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnation of Dan Feng and have nothing to do, but you cannot run from combat, Dan Heng. Your combat is like smelting, purging the impurities with burning flames and exposing. Those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer for you. Out of all of us, you were the closest to him. It was strange, really, to see some...
This spear is sharp enough to pierce dragon scales. Be careful.
You still remember when he was but a child. He swore to take revenge. When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword. But he was boasting about mass at first. I wasn't too fond of his defiant nature. Unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short-life species to run.
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply couldn't keep up.
So, are we here to commemorate your short life?
Eavesdropping is a bad habit. Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer in the...
Even the cryocapsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short life species for long. If he is still alive, he must be ancient.
He transformed.
Correct. Such are the twists. Some people are born with unparalleled foresight and exceptional intelligence, but make them... As smart as he was, He made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to aid Imbibitor Lunae in resurrecting his deceased companion. His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became the evil that he hated.
For an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
What did you...
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths to remind him of the karma of his previous life. Afterward, we've idled too long. Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
As a follower of the Rainbow Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living beings turning into undying monsters. Eventually, what do you think should be done to put an end to it, General?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one day Yaoshe...
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their devotion and Take me, for example. My powers originate from the Abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to eliminate... So, in order to sever Yaoshe's curse, one must look to the source for it. Your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move...
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shuling and stand before the 6 generals, even the Marshal. That is your truth. And the purpose of the contents of your cup.
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control.
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move.
You've changed, Jingyuan. The man I knew would never have admitted he was bested.
Order's already been restored to the Alchemy Commission. Why are...
I heard the healer lady is capable of curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone would be. Patience, young man. We're not far from Scale Gorge Waterscape. The mission the General tasked...
What is...
Miss Bailu.
Oh, I see. Are you here for your eyes? Or...
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons. My thoughts have been disordered lately, and I experience...
Those symptoms don't sound like... who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients. Give me your hand. checking your... your hand! It's, please wait. Dunhung. Your friend here has a very peculiar... Her pulse is extremely faint.
There's...
Let the healer make the your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might be able to make a new entry in the
Today's her last...
What a shame. If she could stay for a few days, I might be able to figure out... I'll do my best. No matter... Come with me. I'll prescribe her some soul... I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were expelled... Tanhung, you mind coming with me to retrieve my medicine?
Are you in trouble, Dragon Lady?
No.
It's no bother. A little walk will do me good.
I can smell the herbs. It's around here. Hey! Give me back my medicine box! That thing runs so fast! Don't let it get away! There's it! Wind, it's so...
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon Lady. Stay. In lunar flame! Bleeding like roaring flood! A blade of moonlight!
This is why your hands are so cold! This cold isn't something normal flesh could withstand!
Defend the weak. Flaming lance! Forward!
Turn up the volume.
For a tough case like yours, we're gonna try them all!
Fight it or rock with it. My music. Conquer us all.
In lunar flame! A blade of moonlight!
Time for something savory.
Let's rock.
Indestructible.
Excuse me, coming through.
Keep up. My tempo. Turn up the volume. Fight it or rock with it. My music. Conquer us all.
A blade of moonlight. In lunar flame. Defend the weak. Lance ablaze! Flaming lance! Forward!
Commencing research. Relax, deep breaths. For a tough case like yours, we're gonna try 'em all!
Alright, let me make sure nothing's missing. Apologies again for the delay. This prescription won't cure you, but it will...
Very well. The fate of a...
You're Mara struck? I don't see the symptoms in you at all. What with the incident on the Law Fu, you don't seem to have any of that.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in me. I may be sane, but one... And yet, I still have many unfulfilled wishes.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body. If you're able to forget about the...
Really? How unfortunate. My hatred overshadows my other emotions. I chose. All I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred of the past. Thank you for your advice, Dragon Lady. Meeting you has, by the way, among those you've treated in recent days.
Bandages? That's a vague description, you know. I'm not sure. We get into...
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious expression. He...
Oh, yes! Someone came by today. He must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood.
He's probably... Well then, it would seem that everything is in place. Take this man away. This does not involve him.
Yanqing.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after... If I remember correctly, the five of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. We promised that no matter what happened, we would gather here together and share a drink. How sad that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty while the world continues to turn. Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing. Of 5 people, 3 must Imbibiter Lunae, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible Ying Sing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Lunay in his evil. He fell. As for Jingliu, the sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and abandoned her oath. Now it is time we pay for what we done. Hung. You can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Lunay. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death. And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past from fading away. High Cloud Quintet, it is time to say good. A wineless gathering, accompanied by Jing Yuan. Is it not time you sent...
The laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-like reflection barrier in hopes...
Jing Yuan, you haven't changed at all, but in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the Rainbow Arbiter, we are all... No matter. I will deviate if you insist. But this does not change how things will end.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do. The immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's Slave already told you that the swords of mortals are incapable of killing someone.
He did. But you still owe me the attempt.
I told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against someone who does not long for...
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your...
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief... We were here once, 700 years ago. Laughing, sparring, and thinking about the future. Their faces still linger before my eyes, like a bygone dream. I thought those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us, like a Xianzhou lifetime. Yet, dreams will eventually fade like clouds from the sky.
A familiar feeling. Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You used the sword Insing crafted, and pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored. It's as if they're saying, why? Why did you and Imbibitor Lunae commit such an unforgivable sin? I know that you have no interest in my answer, which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked myself that same question infinite times. Why? Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again? Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword in a withered grave. The miraculous thing is that in my brief moment of death, all like when we drank to drown our sorrows.
Imbibitor Lunae.
Once this gathering ends,
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends all have, but I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, the memories of what I did when I was Mara-struck are deeply rooted. Maybe when I witness the fall.
Dunhung, the General wants me to forget about... I understand. These disputes are far too... I have some close friends of my own in the cloud. Goodbye for now.
She couldn't do it with her sword either. She's still... We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This...
Neither of us can end the other's life.
Elio's script still requires you to stay. I don't mind prolonging my vengeance.
All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. But I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another. Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer to. Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you a true rebirth. Yes. It has been a long day for you, Dunhung.